LP crisis. More arrests coming, says Apapa Group. The Alhaji Lamidi Bashir Apapa-led faction of the Labour Party has commended the DSS over the reported arrest of the embattled national chairman of the party, Julius Abure, as he said more arrests would follow. Rising from a 3-hour state working committee meeting in Oka, Anambra, the state Labour Party chairman, Peter Okoye, told journalists that Abure's arrest was only the beginning of a floodgate of arrests of more bigwigs in the party. He accused them of turning the party into their private financial estate and cash cow until the arrival of Apapa to salvage what was once a fledgling political party of the masses. Making copies of the May 3, 2023 resolutions of the party available, as well as the order of the Federal High Court sitting in Maitama, Abuja, which suspended Abure and 3 others from parading themselves as officers of the party, Okoye stated that contrary to a general insinuation that Apapa came as a snitch planted to destabilize the aspiration of Mr. Obi, he said that is far from the truth. We are not against Obi in any way. We are solidly behind him in his quest to reclaim his mandate. It is the reason we met today to appraise progress and development within the party. Okoye said the State Executive Committee met alongside the chairman of the 21 councils of Anambra State, and we used the opportunity to address them, including the litigations within the party. We presented to them the court order suspending Abure, as well as the pending appeal by him, that is his preliminary objection that the FCT High Court lacked jurisdiction in the matter in the first instance. We also explained the rationale behind suspension of the 36 state chairmen and secretaries, because they went to hold a meeting with Abure inviting senators / the House of Representatives members-elect Obi and his running mate. This was considered a grave offence and affront, hence the state officers were suspended. Reading out the resolutions, the Demili North chairman and chairman of all chairmen, Comrade Obiora Ochudo, emphasized their unflinching support and backing of the Lamidi Apapa-led national executive. Okay, if more arrests are coming, obviously it doesn't look good. Is it surprising? Absolutely not. If Nnamdi Kanu has been detained and held in custody for almost a year, or is it even more than a year, then there's problems. There's serious problems, and it's actually pretty scary, because we know that if the Nigerian government truly wanted to do something and get away with it, they basically have all the power and they can. It makes you sort of lose hope, and I guess it's basically the tactic they're going for. For those who have supported the Labour Party and have seen them through even to this position, the aim you can clearly see is to lose morale, to intentionally break the minds of the people. Really, I don't think it's really a psychological war, and I think the conversation really, we have to develop it to the state of Nigerians and what the events and incidents and whatever that we go through, what it does to us. And maybe it's a way why, and maybe, it's the reason why we as a people, we're very hyper enjoyment. Whatever you seek to be or whatever you're not, you would really, with so much effort, try to be that thing, right? We are truly a surviving people that do everything they can to always have a good time and not suffer. And I think because we found that remedy, because we really love enjoyment. A country that really loves to party, a country that really loves the high life and is always looking to want the better things. Yes, there are positives and negatives. We have a collective of very hardworking, innovative talents and people. But on the other hand, we're psychologically beaten by the country via the hardships that we face, that in the long term, the kind of people that we are being conditioned to be as such would be very weak. And even the country itself would be weak. I mean, it is very alarming that Nigerians, People migrate all the time. It's not a problem. But the rate at which Nigerians are doing it is, at this point, if everybody could leave Nigeria and to be a desert, we actually would, right? And it's such a problem. It's a bigger problem than it is. And when I talk about, Nigerians being psychologically beaten with, other elections, with people disappointing us time and time and time again, for the fact that this elections is actually an example of a time when Nigerian youth really united and decided that, what, we would take politics seriously and attempt on change. Literally, it was an attempt, a very good one at that, to be very honest. However, what it does is really to highlight how behind we are and how hard it really is. And if we're going to be very observant, they literally play the same game all the time. Look at the NSAS protest and what it turned into. It turned into a massacre, which meant that the whole event and the whole, the whole purpose of the moment and the movement turned into a different thing, right? It's like they aim to scare us, beat us down, make us cowards. They aim to do that because, and that's how you really know that, wow, like, these politicians, like, I get that you don't have our best interest at heart, but then you see the actions and the moves that they make, and you're like, damn, like, you really do, like, when you're even surprised at what you already know. That's how deep it is. We know they don't care. We know they're very, incompetent, they're useless, whatever you want to call them. But then they just do certain things and you are like, wow. As in, at this point, you people basically have meetings on how to destroy Nigeria. Like, at this point, on your agenda is literally how to destroy Nigeria, because the actions these people take. I mean, this is an attempt of a people trying to take back their country and regain their power. And what do? They basically frustrate your efforts. If it's that they have to kill you, if it's that they have to kidnap the leader of the event, if it's that they have to take scapegoats and treat them and mistreat them, beat them, maim them, rape them, whatever they have to do, just to make sure it sends a message to everyone else, who would come out? Who would come out and say, let's go and do this? No. Because our power has literally been stripped from us. Nigeria has practically been raped, in all sense. And I mean that, and not in a gruesome way, but in terms of our resources, our minds, and the people that we are. I mean, we have, it's a lot. So I think in moving forward, like, I really don't know what to do with Nigeria. Nigeria is literally, to be honest, is there really hope? Because as a people, we have to really think of what we are turning into, especially in the long term. We will be very hyper self-preservative. We will literally lack all unity in our culture. And inevitably, it's so bad for us as a people, because cultures that stick together, cultures that are very loyal to one another, that trust each other, move forward together. And that fabric is literally decaying in our Nigerian society. It makes it very, very hard. And it shows who we are as a people, because behaviors are replicated anywhere else. You look at how Nigerians, or look at how Africans act in a different world that is not theirs. In the Western world, where we will never be accepted, right? We are not the only migrants, but then the strength of our culture will always come to play. The people that we are will never die. There's a lot of work to do, because the unity, the work, I mean, there are Indians, there are Jews, other communities that would move, and yet they are so successful. We really have a problem. Nigeria is really a problem. And honestly, us migrating to different countries, I know it's for preservation of ourselves and to protect ourselves and blah, blah, blah. But really, as a people, in the long term, we are literally destroying ourselves, and the hope and the future for us is not looking nice at all. Put what you think in the comment section below, and don't forget to like and subscribe.